looking at China over the last 2 years. So what he says is not going to happen, and he cannot short the currency as you described he did to Britain.
What do you think is his objective? Because we know that players like him always have a game plan in mind. Everything is done for a reason. What do you think he's trying to achieve by these comments?
In some investment circles, giving negative forecasts in respect of China, or talking about calamitous events such as some imminent collapse of the banking system, or as he's indicated in his article, real faltering of growth to the point where China's going to stall, is very difficult for people to refute because it is a very opaque country and a very complex economy at the moment. So he has a strong set of followers in the investment world. So he will get benefit from having taken a strong position and in effect confirming the fears of a number of other people who over the years have always been concerned with China. It's more of a gut instinct than an empirical position. But betting against China, especially since the global financial crisis, has been a very bad strategy for most investors, like George Soros. So I think it's working his herd to some extent, but his predictions are inaccurate and they will not happen.
So on your radar, and as I mentioned, you've been a close follower of China, you've been based there for more than 20 years. I mean, as you look at the start of 2014 for China, is there anything you're seeing on your radar that might lend credence to George Soros?
Well, the major issue is always the level of government debt. And it is true that the Chinese government has allowed municipalities and provinces to use state funds for development of all kinds. Largely it's been infrastructural. There's been a number of major projects that crisscross the whole of China. The railways are a very good example. But local development has been expensive, and some of the money has been used wastefully and recklessly. But not to an extent that it actually threatens the solvency of the banks, the state banks involved in allocating these funds, or for that matter, is it an example of the fact that China's losing control of provincial and municipal spending? Really, the levels that are at issue can be dealt with. It is essentially a government balance sheet anyway. So if a city somewhere in the center of China is overspending and overinvesting, in the end, the money and the manner in which these liabilities will be dealt with are all going to happen on one balance sheet. So at this stage, while more discipline is required, there is no crisis that's going to come from this. But it has been highlighted, and since the recent party plenum, the new president Xi Jinping has made